Good evening, and welcome back to EmoNews Nightly Package for March 20th, 2026. I am your presenter, Soana Benjamin.
And I'm Rick Francis. In the headlines this evening, Dominica to deregister vehicles with over 2 years of unpaid fees. CXC hosts inaugural regional education conference in Jamaica. Dowasco hosts Water Week in recognition of World Water Day. Belize showcases natural beauty and sustainable tourism focus ahead of STC 2026. Middle East tensions escalate as Iran launches second wave of attacks on Gulf energy infrastructure. Haitian national is the newest blast millionaire. And Roosevelt's Carried Bombers FC have secured their place in the DFA Under-18 final. Details of these stories and more coming up next. Stay with us.
Welcome to Antigua Mars. Them people have no behavior, they have no behavior. Welcome to Antigua Mars. Clear out how you know it's danger, how you know it's danger. When it comes to Mars, in my dad
In local news this evening, vehicle owners in Dominica could find their vehicles being deregistered if fees remain unpaid for more than 2 years. Chief of Police Lincoln Corbett made the announcement yesterday at a press conference in the town of Portsmouth.
So it's to urge you, drivers, motor vehicle drivers, and owners of motor vehicles, to get your motor vehicles up and running, licensed and insured to be on government road. There are also aspects of the Motor Vehicle Traffic Act, that is 4650, that we intend to implement very soon. The section of that act that speaks to deregistration of motor vehicles after 2 years. Too many vehicles are on the road, driving around, no license, 3-4 years, and the act gives the chief of police, the licensing authority, the authority to deregister a motor vehicle after 3 years. So those vehicles that are on the road, here's a warning. I don't speak idle talk. After 2 years, you may very well find yourself with no number plate on that vehicle of yours. Having to re-register the vehicle all over again.
It was a historic day in Dominica yesterday, Thursday, 19, as the first ever driver's license was issued in the second town. According to the Minister of National Security, Honorable Raymond Blackmore, this is just the first in a series of other notable changes to come.
And so the person who will be taking a picture and issuing the card, after you would have paid your money, your fees to Inland Revenue, is a man from Portsmouth. Okay? So, and then we're looking forward to employing one more person from the Portsmouth area also. So the next step, therefore, is to move into Marigot. And to ensure that that service is also provided to the people of Marigot. And then even possibly Latin. But that is what we are setting out to do as we move forward. And it's important that we continue to see ourselves as facilitators, as helpers of the process. And that's the only way we can deliver on behalf of the people of this country. The ministry is also committed and have started the process of decentralizing the issuance of vital life certificates.
The Chief of Police also confirmed that the same system will also allow for the printing of firearm licenses.
So they have been authorized to approve the issuance of driver's license and motor vehicle licenses to all individuals who have met the requirements. Additionally, in addition to the motor vehicle licenses and driver licenses, people who have been granted permission to use firearms in Dominica should also be able to get their cards printed on the system.
20 students from Davidson Davie Community College in North Carolina are currently in Dominica, participating in a study and cultural exchange program. The group, which includes students pursuing studies in zoology and marine biology, is engaging in a range of educational and cultural activities across the island. These include kayaking, snorkeling, visits to the Emerald Pool, and immersive experiences in the Kainago territory. As part of their environmental focus, the students are also learning about marine conservation through the Soufriere Scott's Head Marine Reserve, SSMR, and the Coral Restoration Project. In addition to their academic experiences, the group has been actively involved in community outreach. They donated books to students at the Soufriere Primary School and participated in a beach cleanup initiative. The visit highlights a meaningful blend of education, cultural exchange, and community service, strengthening ties between Dominica and the international institutions. Also happening in local news, in recognition of World Water Day, observed annually on March 22, the Dominica Water and Sewage Company Limited, DOWASCO, will host Water Week 2026 from March 22 to March 28 under the global theme, Water's Role in Gender Equality. Now, let's hear from PRO of DOWASCO, Miss Kimani Felicity.
This observance highlights the importance of freshwater resources and promotes the sustainable management of water worldwide. The 2026 theme underscores the need for equitable access to water resources and recognizes the different ways water management and accessibility impact communities. The week will commence on Sunday, March 22, with DOWASCO joining God's Family House of Worship in Portsmouth for their church service, and activities will continue on Monday, March 23rd, with the official opening ceremony for Water Week, followed by one of our featured events for the week, an inter-school trivia competition. And that begins from 10 a.m. at the UE Auditorium. In that event, secondary schools from across the island will participate in a friendly competition which will test students' knowledge on water-related topics and provide them with an opportunity to win prizes. Throughout the week also, DOWASCO will host several public engagement activities. From Monday to Thursday, we will have a daily draw where one lucky customer will get the chance to win 1 month free water service. That culminates on Friday with a 1-hour spin the wheel at our offices or at our office in Roseau. 1 hour to spin the wheel and get the opportunity to win prizes, and that also includes 1 month free service and other tokens. On Friday, we'll observe Customer Appreciation Day, and so our customers are invited to join us for light refreshments in our offices in Roseau and in Portsmouth as well. In Roseau, we will also have a mini exhibition for our customers to view.
Dominica National Lottery has recorded 2 winners this month. Haitian national Albert Eustache is the newest millionaire, having won $1,197,382 in the Dominica National Lottery Blast Mystery Progressive game. Eustache has been living on island for 23 years and bought his ticket at Venus Gaming in the mall, the same venue of the first ever Blast winner. Brand manager Ironia Stedman James explains.
Venus Gaming was also our agent site where our very first Blast Mystery Progressive Jackpot was won when Miss Nadia Isles took home $380,133.96 in November of 2024. Same location, same game, but bigger jackpot. Clearly, 7 lucky lanes at Venus Gaming seems to have been blessed by the universe. And the Blast Mystery Progressive Jackpot is truly out here changing lives.
Super 6 jackpot was also won, this time by a 21-year-old from the community of La Plaine. Here from Sales and Marketing Manager Ken George.
Chester E.P. Corbett. I like the name E.P. E.P. is in his ID, so his name is E.P. I doubly call him E.P. A young 21-year-old man from La Plaine who purchased his ticket via the quick pick method at Super Value in La Plaine. I must stress it's the first time we're having a jackpot winner down in the Southeast, and we're indeed very happy that he's today collecting a check of $220,000. Okay, he's the first Super 6 winner for 2026. And
George added that Dominica has a good streak of winnings in the Super 6 game.
2025, we saw in Super 6 we paid out jackpot prizes of $1,694,500, where we saw 3 lucky winners. And during those 3 lucky winners in 2025, we must commend our $1.19 million jackpot winner who purchased her ticket at Minias. We also had a $270,000 jackpot winner who purchased at SMAT, and at our main office when we had that remarkable $1 million being shared among all the islands and 6 winners, we had 1 winner from Dominica receiving $233,000. So it clearly shows to the public that Dominica can win the Super 6. We have done it, and we have won last year. It was $1 million, and everybody thought we were going to St. Lucia, and we saw that it shared and everybody got part of it. So we encourage the public to support our product, support our game.
Also in local news, the Ministry of Agriculture continues to inform the public on a lethal virus affecting coconut trees in the Wesley Palm Tree area through Woodfordale and Hodges. This area has been labeled a red zone. Head of Plant Protection and Quarantine Unit, Linessa Ferreira, addressed a press conference earlier today.
First, you will see premature drops of the coconut. Whatever stage they are on the tree, be it young or old, you will find they fall, resulting in a blackening of the area around the head, the calyx area. You would see blackening of the flowers or inflorescence. So the plant cannot produce new fruit. The flowers die. You would get yellowing of the leaves starting from the oldest leaves, and it gradually yellows the leaves to middle and youngest, resulting at last in the death of the youngest spear leaf. Lastly, you would have the breaking off of the crown, and then the tree becomes a telephone post. So all of that happens quickly within a 3 to 6 month period, as mentioned before.
She added that persons must be aware of how the disease is spread and act accordingly.
The lethal yellowing disease is spread in 2 ways. It is spread by a affected planting material, but also it can be spread by this leaf hopper. This leaf hopper is called a Haplaxia scrotus. It's very small, just about 3 to 5 millimeters in size. Then, as I mentioned before, the disease is also spread through the movement of infected planting material. So if you move coconut seedlings, you can also move other parts of the plant which can harbor the pest. So that's why we ask that there be strict movement control. It's necessary that there be strict movement of control of planting material.
The Ministry of Agriculture has begun efforts to deal with the disease.
The ministry has activated a series of coordinated eradication and containment measures. So within the red zone, as I mentioned, from palm tree to Hodges, we are undertaking systemic eradication. So that involves identifying of diseased trees, and even trees that may not yet be showing symptoms. We are cutting, bulking, piling, and then destroying these trees, either through burning or burial. As well as in conjunction with that, we are conducting vector control, vector management. So we are spraying insecticides on the cut foliage of these palms as well as the surrounding grasses around these palms. Because one thing I forgot to mention, the leafhopper, a part of its life cycle is found within grasses, within the root zone of grasses such as the St. Augustine grass, Bermuda grass, Guinea grass. So it requires a multi-pronged approach to control vector and disease.
In a delightful celebration of creativity and learning, Paybush Primary School brought stories to life with a vibrant character day as part of this year's Literacy Week activities. Students and teachers alike stepped out of the pages of their favorite books and even screens, dressing up as beloved characters, all in keeping with the theme, Literacy in a Digital World. The school was buzzing with excitement as each class took the spotlight, delivering engaging presentations that blended technology with imagination. From digital storytelling to creative performances, students not only showcased their talents, but also demonstrated how reading continues to evolve in today's tech-driven world. Adding to the excitement of the day, the school proudly launched its very own magazine, highlighting student creativity, writing, and achievements, marking a major milestone in their literacy journey. More than just costumes and performances, the event carried a powerful message, encouraging a love for reading, supporting one another, and embracing literacy in all its modern forms. Big round of applause to the staff and students of the Paybush Primary for proving that when it comes to learning, imagination truly has no limits.
Today is a very special day at Paybush Primary. We are having Character Day and also we are having an open day. So today we see the students showcasing their skills and talents, as well as the teachers. Students are all dressed up in their favorite characters and putting on performances. We had most of the performances done digitally since our theme for Literacy Week is literacy in a digital world. So you witnessed some of what we did, and the show continues as we are speaking right now. We have the students putting on their performances. I have to say it has been a very exciting week, a very exciting time of literacy activities. We saw so much coming from the students and the staff. We had our funny book bag day, and that really brought out the skills of the parents. And of course, we had visits to the library where the students learned quite a bit. We had visits to Emo, your place, so you saw them and you had them read the news and so on and so forth. So we are culminating today because we are moving on to other activities like Sports Day and the closing of the school term. So it was really nice having these activities, and I have to say thanks to EmoNews for accommodating us and being present too.
And finally, in local news, today is Journée Internationale de la Francophonie, or better known as French Day. In commemoration of French Day, French teachers and students from secondary schools across Dominica gathered at the Alliance Française de la Dominique for a special celebration. Now, let's hear from Chief Education Officer, Dr. Jeffrey Blaze.
Exposure to French improves cognitive ability. It improves your ability to think. It improves problem solving and critical thinking. How does it do that? It's because of the diversity in your language experience. So in addition to having English language, and some of you have Patois as a second language, you have French. It makes you a lot more diverse in your interactions, in your communications, and hence improve your ability to think. Learning French gives you a competitive advantage, particularly for scholarships and the like. If you intend to apply for scholarship to tertiary or higher education, sometimes you have a requirement of having a foreign language. Yes, so if you do have a foreign language, you get an advantage over your other competitors for scholarship applications. The same for employment. Many employment opportunities now, you see they speak of having a foreign language, preferably French.
Here are some of the highlights of the performances by the students.
Si je ne vois mon Johnny, quelque chose va se passer. Je le cherche pour mon Johnny, je le cherche pour mon meilleur. Vous me dites ceci, vous me dites cela, je dis ce n'est pas pour moi. Johnny me fait ronga, Johnny me fait ronga. Il me fait ceci, il me fait cela, mais je ne dis pas à maman. Il est au Canada, il est à Tokyo.
And that's all for local news this evening. Stay tuned for regional news coming up next.
In regional news, the government of St. Lucia has officially opened a criminal backlog reduction court aimed at improving the efficiency of the justice system and restoring public confidence. The court was inaugurated on March 19th by Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre and senior judicial officials. The initiative will focus on clearing long-standing criminal cases, some of which have remained unresolved for years. Backed by over $2.2 million under the Swift Justice Project, the court is expected to speed up case processing, reduce delays, and ease the burden on victims and families. Officials say the move also strengthens national security, with the government reaffirming its commitment to ongoing justice sector reforms. And in more regional news, Belize is spotlighting its natural beauty and strong commitment to sustainable tourism ahead of the Sustainable Tourism Conference 2026. Speaking at the Caribbean Tourism Organization's Air Connectivity Summit in Bermuda, Tourism Minister Anthony Mahler invited regional and international stakeholders to visit Belize for the conference, scheduled for April 27th to the 30th in San Pedro. Mahler highlighted Belize's unique offerings, including the world's second largest barrier reef, the Great Blue Hole, hundreds of islands, rich rainforests, and Mayan heritage, describing the country as a diverse destination within a compact space. He also emphasized Belize's long-standing focus on eco-friendly tourism, with community-based experiences at the core of its developments. The conference will bring together regional and global leaders to explore sustainable tourism strategies and innovative approaches to future growth in the Caribbean. Taiwan President La Ching-te has reaffirmed strong diplomatic ties with St. Vincent and the Grenadines during a meeting with Deputy Prime Minister St. Clair Leacock and his delegation. President Lai noted that this year marks 45 years of diplomatic relations between the two countries, highlighting a long-standing partnership built on mutual support and cooperation. He described the relationship as one that continues to strengthen over time, with Taiwan providing support in areas such as healthcare, agriculture, education, and technology. President Lai also pledged continued collaboration through scholarship programs and development initiatives, while calling for St. Vincent's support in expanding Taiwan's international participation. The visit marks the first official delegation from St. Vincent to Taiwan since the country's new government took office late last year. President Lai expressed confidence that bilateral relations will continue to grow under the new administration. And in Barbados, The government has announced a new initiative to provide every newborn with an investment of 5,000 Barbados dollars. The program, called the Barbados Republic Child Wealth Fund, will apply to all children born on or after November 30th, 2021, with funds held in trust and invested. Access will be granted later in life to support expenses such as education or housing. Officials say the initiative aims to reduce inequality and promote long-term financial security. Finance Minister Ryan Strawn described it as a universal birthright for every child. The program is part of the 2026-2027 budget and is expected to cost up to $12 million annually. And finally, in regional news, the Caribbean Examinations Council has launched its first Regional Education Conference, bringing together ministers and key stakeholders from across the Caribbean. Hosted by Jamaica's Education Minister, Senator Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, the event featured regional leaders, including Dominica's Octavia Alfred and officials from St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Anguilla, and St. Kitts and Nevis. In her address, Minister Morris Dixon emphasized the need for innovation and adaptability in education in the digital age. Speakers also included CXC officials and regional partners. The three-day conference focused on topics such as artificial intelligence, modern assessment, and new teaching methods, with cultural performances by Jamaican students. Delegates closed the event on March 18th, calling for more inclusive and future-ready education systems across the region. And that's all for regional news. We'll be right back with international news.
Blast Gaming presents its biggest job whatever. Blast Mystery Progressive. I'm so excited. I can't hide it. The new Blast Jackpot rising. And I like it. It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up and up and up and up.
Play selected games to win in the Blast Mystery Progressive. Pick until you match 3 gems and win one of the 5 cash jackpots. Or you can blast up with the Mystery Progressive jackpot.
It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up. Blast Gaming.
On the international scene, tensions in the Middle East have sharply escalated as Iran launched a second day of attacks on Gulf energy infrastructure. Drones struck Kuwait's largest oil refinery, forcing partial shutdowns, while air defense systems intercepted incoming threats. Iran says the strikes are in retaliation for Israel's recent attack on its gas facilities. Across the region, multiple countries reported missile and drone activity as Israel carried out overnight strikes in Tehran and faced fresh missile barrages. The conflict is also disrupting global energy supplies, with major damage to Qatar's gas facilities and the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, driving up oil prices and raising concerns of wider instability. In more news, Switzerland says it will not approve licenses for companies to export weapons to the United States amid the ongoing conflict involving Iran. In a statement, the Swiss government says the decision is based on its long-standing policy of neutrality, noting that arms exports to countries involved in the conflict cannot be authorized for the duration of the war. As a result, exports of military equipment to the U.S. are currently on hold. U.S. President Donald Trump has sharply criticized NATO allies, calling them cowards for refusing to join the conflict with Iran or assist in securing the Strait of Hormuz. In a post on his Truth Social platform, Trump argued that without the United States, NATO is ineffective, accusing member states of avoiding military involvement while benefiting from U.S. efforts. He also criticized allies for complaining about rising oil prices, but failing to take action to reopen the vital shipping route, warning that their response would not be forgotten. And finally, in some entertainment news, legendary martial artist and Hollywood action star Chuck Norris has died at the age of 86. Norris, best known for his role in the hit television series Walker, Texas Ranger, passed away this morning after being hospitalized in Hawaii. In a statement, his family said he died peacefully, surrounded by loved ones, and have asked for privacy during this time. Norris rose to international fame as a martial arts champion before becoming one of the most recognizable action stars in film and television. And that's it for international news. Stay tuned for the sports broadcast with Rick Francis.
Don't forget, today we have funeral, we have functions. Make sure you're on time.
Always on time, eh?
You're always on time. Make sure. All right. Papa Met, look, I just received a message from National Bank asking me to regain access to my account. I can't message that. Your account has been placed on hold due to an unusual activity. Let me click that link.
How many times NBD has to say that they will never ever send links via text message to regain access to account or to restore account or to do anything with account?
So National Bank that sent it, I believe it. I just click in.
Emo, if you are not sure, it's better if you call National Bank at 255-2300 or email them at customersupport@nbd.dm.
Papa Met, little again I lose all the little money I save up from my account.
And you'd find money to pay me.
Yeah, I tell you, I almost click link and almost lose my money. You're talking about I hope I have money to pay you. Let's go, eh?
All I know is don't click any link. Call NBD instead.
So let us know our business.
And now for the sports segment. Roosevelt's Carried Bombers FC have secured their place in the DFA Under-18 final after a dominant 4-2 victory over WE United FC. Displaying clinical finishing, confidence and composure throughout the match, the young Bombers rose to the occasion when it mattered most. Their performance now puts them just one step away from championship glory. Also in sports, sun, sand and high-energy action are set to collide this weekend as beach volleyball takes center stage. The Dominica Amateur Volleyball Association will host its beach volleyball tryouts and screening on Saturday, March 21st, 2026 at Merrow Beach. The event begins at 9 a.m. and is open to both senior athletes and rising under-20 talent. Participants will have the opportunity to showcase their skills and compete for a place on the National Beach Volleyball Program. Transportation will be provided from the Rosa Promenade, departing at 8 a.m. Organizers are encouraging all interested athletes to come prepared, bring their competitive edge, and make their mark on the sand. And that's all for the sports segment this evening. Stay tuned for the weather report coming up next. And now the weather report from the Dominica Met Office. Partly to occasionally cloudy and breezy conditions are expected across Dominica. Winds will range from east-northeast to east-southeast at 15 to 35 kilometers per hour, with higher gusts. Seas are slight to moderate. There are no advisories at this time. Small craft operators and sea bathers are advised to monitor conditions as northerly swells could affect coastlines later tonight into tomorrow. And that's all for the weather report. And as always, stay informed and stay safe.
This has been EmoNews Nightly Package for March 20th, 2026. I am your presenter, Soana Benjamin.
And I'm Rick Francis. Do have a lovely evening.